I felt compelled to make a video this evening because I was sitting down scrolling Instagram Reels and kind of wavering between my fridge and my pantry, just looking for something to eat. But I decided that I didn't want anything to eat, so I kind of sat down in an office chair and I was scrolling Instagram Reels and I was just thinking, maybe I should record a video and um, one talk about the now, just kind of how I've been feeling, and then and I guess we'll start with that and see where it goes. Um, so I think I sat there, right, and I was just thinking about like the state that I find myself in, like the way I find myself occupying my own body and my own mind state, and all the kind of uncomfortability there is with it, because I find myself um, kind of undulating between one is like, wow, like life is so freaking beautiful and great. Love hanging out with my friends and my family, and like how lucky I am. Um, that's a big one. How lucky I am, and how like thankful I am for all this. And then there's the other one, which is like, wow, I I have an evening to myself, like after work and stuff, and I just can't. Uh, I just find myself deeply and deeply uncomfortable. Just like very kind of I don't want to say distressed, but like um just kind of panicked. Like I can't like I feel uncomfortable within my own body. Like I feel compelled to do something, but I don't think that thing that to satisfy me exists. So I kind of just like until I start doing something like getting deep into a YouTube video, if possible, or like scrolling some videos, or like I find it that I can't sit down and I can't calm myself. Like I have things that I like some skills, like going to do like a guided meditation, or just do I have some activities that are very relaxing, but I can't bring myself to do them. It requires such a willpower to go away from that mental path, that mental the path of least resistance. Like I really I just find myself I find that the path of least resistance is like often the path that gets me um into like just not a great mental state. um like a state where I just can't find myself being able to relax and fall asleep. And back to that other part of me, the part of me that is very thankful and feels very lucky, which is a big part. Um, when I'm in that mind space, it's like wow, uh, like it doesn't seem so pressing. The the uncomfortableness, the uncomfortability rather of not being able to relax. Like it finds that, and it's like that's not a big deal. It's not as big of a deal as I'm making it to be. There's a lot worse things in the world, and you're making it to be something it's not, and for you to glorify it in your mind as something that's dark, to say that's dark, to say it's a dark place, to say like to for it to be something to be avoided is 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 giving it the power that it that it desperately wants. An unwise iDubbbz, YouTube common content creator, once said that to say to say and to not say the N word is to give the word the power that it so that people desperately not want it to have, which I disagree with, but it's a funny it's a concept, you know. Um, in this way, it's like I feel like to judge it and to look at this part of myself and be like, wow, like I can't believe that I'm not able to just sit down, that I'm not able to just like be with myself, that I'm not able to be comfortable with myself and do the things that I would hope to do, like write music, which is kind of a whole can of worms for me, or just like read or do some activities that I'd preferably want to do, you know. So having that part of me that judges that judges my irritability as something that's not so big and that seems a lot more simple doesn't seem so right. And when I get into these places of mind or these places of inhabitants or these places of existence where I'm um and this irritability, it's like it's hard, you know. Like I for the past 2 days I was like, okay, today I'm not going to. Usually I pick up a guitar and play some music or something, but for the past 2 days I said I'm not gonna play guitar. I'm not gonna play piano. I'm just going to try to like hard reset a little bit and not do any of that. So hopefully I can come back to it with an open mind. And today after work I worked out and I had all these ideas. I started writing some like lyrical ideas, but I think the second after I worked out and took a shower that I went to the guitar, it's like all of that just came back. Like all of that stress about, not stress, but just uncomfortability with songwriting and like all that mental garbage and like that mental irritability of not being able to do it, not being able to bring myself to it. It all just came flooding back, and I kind of lost the creative flow there that I had while writing lyrics before. Water. I'm gonna grab my water. So that brings me to, just things that I'm trying to work towards for this summer, or this a lot of this free time I have before I go and study abroad, and before I continue with my career ambitions and uh, continue into the unknown, is just like trying to get my diet together, treat my body well. In the last video I posted about while I was backpacking, doing an overnight backpacking trip, it's talking about the beer and Benadryl combo that's been getting me to sleep recently. Um, which is once again like I mentioned earlier, one of those things that I'm really pushed away towards. I judge myself a lot for it, even though it's not. There's worse things in the world. um, I seem to be. I seem to get myself uh, in those dilemmas of relativity a lot. But looking forward, some of the goals I've been setting for myself is now that I'm at home a lot more. and kind of with myself a lot more. I want to work on my diet a lot, start going out of my way to eat healthier, and that's one big one. And then I have a stack of books here that I'm always getting I'm always working through them a little bit. It's just kind of inspiring to have them on my work desk. But music is one thing that I can never um I can never properly place, or I can never feel comfortable placing within my own life. Like whether it was like ever an ambition that I really wanted to do as my main thing, as I'm going through college. It always felt like it's wanted to be a main thing. Like say a career. I don't like all the things tied to that word, but more of like a a fully driven passion that I put everything into, or that I try to pursue as much as I can and prioritize over anything else. I've always wanted it to be something like that. And it wasn't until I stopped doing the med stuff that I was actually able to do that. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do music. And then that was, I think starting from then was when I really started to get driven away from it. And now I kind of just struggle with it as something that is always in the back of my mind, but something that I can never properly put a step foot like a foot forward for one reason or another. There's something that the guy from he was one of the dudes in was it Tones on Tail? It's one of those like 80s 90s. It was some kind of like 80s 90s electric producer guy or songwriter guy who talked about like his experience as a just as a songwriter, and like through his creative block and whatnot. And I related to him a lot when he said that, like, just how much he was once like driven away from just a I struggle a lot with this video format. I feel like I'm talking in like a university class or something, and I have to like get the full point across. Like I have a sense of audience that I feel like I need to that I feel I need to rhetorically um, speak to, or like rhetorically pull forward with my speaking, or that I need to capture them. And I think sometimes it makes me speak corporately, like I'm trying to get to the word count or something. I'm not very comfortable with the format here. Got to slow it down. And I suppose making these videos is better than feeling bad about scrolling and getting deeper into a place that I can't escape, you know? It feels like doing something productive. I definitely want another kind of creative outlet other than music, so I can feel that vigor of creativity again, just in a different form. Because this evening, I tried to sit down and kind of put myself in the shoes of someone like me who would maybe be like, today I want to write a song. And then they go write a song. And I tried to put myself in that headspace, like, today I'm just going to go write a song. I'm going to read some of my lyrics from that. There was just some, it was kind of just some word association, um, some ideas. So I am no longer the wall. I'm guarded by irony, whether it's profound or pedestrian. Um, and I will plant a seed unafraid of its growth. I might sail a rotten sea. I can't keep me to myself, and I'll take the unnamed pill. Penny for your thoughts, I'm no longer scared to hear how you feel. Or to hear you feel. Or scared to feel you feel. Among those lines. And for me, the poetry has always been like a supplement to the music, but I think more recently I've been more into the poetry of it than the music of it, which I think which I don't think I like so much. I really want to get back into the music of it and the abstract of it. Um, but the poetry pulls me in for sure. Writing some kind of story. I was working on like a science fiction of sorts, just having fun with it. It wasn't very good at all. And I would love to do something like that again. I don't really have any premises or any conceit ideas for something to work on, but it's always in my or some kind of objective to do some kind of creative writing thing. I just don't know what most people do. Like, I don't know. All the people in my life are gamers, and I think the I just don't know what non-gamers do with their time if they have like a summer off from college. Like, what are these fuckers doing? I can never feel happy like just watching YouTube all day, and I can't seem to make myself feel content at all doing doing something like that. For me, like in these days, every hour is like a fight for my it's a fight for something. I don't know what it's a fight for, but every hour is a fight against myself for like doing something the right way. It's a fight for doing something in its best way. It's a fight. And I can never quite seem to articulate that, you know? I feel like in the context of my life, I'm always thinking too much, you know? That's for one thing. And I feel like I've been a lot happier, and I've been a lot less gloomy nowadays. I just got off Zoloft recently. Um so that's been a huge win, like just getting away from those pits. but I still, when I'm doing things, when I'm doing work, when I'm doing school, when I do the things I have to do to function as a human being, or the things that are brought upon me, and the things that I do enjoy doing, it always it feels great, and I look back, and it's all fun and dandy. But every new moment, every new hour, every new day always feels like big um a very big ordeal and a very big challenge. And when I look on it, when I look back on it, it's like, wow, that wasn't much of a challenge. But I think I perceive it as such, you know. I perceive it as such a big thing, and it feels like such a big thing. And I always feel like I'm in some kind of pit that people shouldn't be in. Maybe it's not the right articulation. More like that this very moment I feel like there's times I've been in therapy, and like, sometimes therapy could get pretty intense, and you feel like you just, I don't know if anyone has had this feeling. Once again, I'm talking to, yeah, all that. Um, when you're in the time when I was in therapy, and like, sometimes it just gets very intense, and I just feel like I have to go out and take a second outside the room, um, which is which is to no fault of my therapist, of course. It just sometimes it feels like that, and that's how it feels like right now. But with the video as my therapist, as my recipient, at the receiving end of the conversation, and it's like after that intensity, like sometimes you just shut down a little bit, to some combination of despair of your lack of articulation, and despair of your like of just utter loss of thought, and complete loss of anything. You just shut down. I don't think I have any other more talking points. I kind of wanted to convert. I mean, the goal when I pressed record was to kind of conversationally articulate some feelings and thoughts I've been having, and I think I should probably just go to therapy again. I think that'd be a good idea, because I'm feeling some blockages again. Some feelings and thoughts in the way, and whenever I go to therapy, um, it's always broken down in a very simple way that makes me kind of reevaluate the the walls that I build and the thought patterns that I build. And I think for the most part, I got out the gist of what I wanted to talk about. I think it's more free and more easy than like journaling for one. All right.